remember years ago, whenever I first joined the Highway Patrol, I had worked at a business prior to that as a salesman, and the company, it was a family-owned company, and every year at Christmas time, they would give us a Christmas bonus. They'd give us a week's pay extra, and it was just, I hate to say it, I just kind of got used to that. So Christmas rolled around, I could use my Christmas bonus to go out and buy Christmas presents. Well, when I joined the Highway Patrol, I took an $8,000 a year pay cut. And so that first Christmas rolled around, and guess what? The state does not give Christmas bonuses. And so we were barely getting by on the salary. Lorraine, she was staying home with our child at that point. And so mine was the only income, and things were tight. Christmas rolled around, and we didn't have two nickels to rub together. And so Lorraine and I both agreed we certainly would not be getting each other anything for Christmas. We had a little small boy. I think Jeremy was like 2 years old. And so we went to Rose's department store and we bought him a little plastic dump truck. And that's what went under the Christmas tree, and he was just tickled to death with his little plastic dump truck. But we realized we've got to do better than this. I mean, we're going to have to think ahead. We don't have any money. We don't know what to do. But I knew I was getting ready to get a little pay raise. And so I went to the credit union, joined the credit union, and I told them I would like to open a Christmas club. And so I took the raise I was getting ready to get would be about $10 every 2 weeks, $10 a paycheck. And so I said, I'd like to open a Christmas club and have $10 taken out of each paycheck. And so I did that. The next Christmas, they sent me $250 that I had been able to save through the Christmas club. And I was able to, buy the Christmas for the kids. And so that just worked out great. And so I said, that worked out so well. I went back to the credit union and I said, because I'd gotten, I think, a cost of living raise or something. I said, I'd like to raise it $10 more. And so the next year, I got $500 at Christmas time that I was, and you know what I did? For every year that I was on the Highway Patrol, I went up every year and increased it by $10. And you know what happened at the end of 20-something years? They were sending me $10,000 in Christmas Club. And I was able to take that and pay off my insurances for my cars, pay my house taxes, and my the insurance on my house. Everything that I had, I was able to pay it off with that Christmas Club and be able to buy Christmas. What a blessing that was. Well, my name is Richard Coleman. I'm the pastor at Shepherd Church of the Nazarene in Lexington, South Carolina, and it's great to spend just a few moments with you today. One of the things that I don't think about, and I don't know if you ever thought about, but after Jesus was born, the king had declared that all the children 2 years and under were to be killed, and so Mary and Joseph, they had to move. I mean, they had to do some moving around. That's expensive. Also, they had diapers and that they were going to have to do something about, and other things. There were expenses in all of that. How are they going to pay for all of that? But one thing I've learned is that when you trust God and you do what God expects of you, He takes care of those details. And I could go on for hours and hours telling you how He's done that in my life, but I won't do that. But I recognize that in the Christmas story that God did that for Mary and Joseph. You see, He had those rich guys come from another country. We call them the wise men. And what did they do? They brought gifts. They didn't bring baby diapers and they didn't bring formula and all of that. No, they brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Very expensive things that could be traded for all the necessities that they needed in life. You see, God took care of Joseph and Mary and God's Son Jesus in a very human way. He used humans to do that. You know, God continues to do that today. Just like I had to start my Christmas club, I had to intentionally do that. If I'd not gone out and opened that account and dedicated that $10 of my pay raise to go into that, I never would have been able to have any money at Christmas time to buy the gifts. It took effort on my part to do that. And so whenever I got the reward at Christmas time, it was because I had done something. I had made an effort. And so I want to encourage you. Sometimes we just think about giving a gift to Jesus at Christmas time. But it ought not be just once a year. We really should give gifts to Jesus all year long. That's part of God's plan. That's the way, just as the wise man took care of the needs for Mary and Joseph that day by us paying our tithe and us giving gifts all throughout the year, that is a way that God is able to take care of His church. And I know you probably don't want to hear about things like that, but it's important to hear every once in a while. And the reason that I'm bringing it up right now is because we are moving into a brand new year. And you can start 2025 out by giving gifts all through the year. And at the end of the year, you can look back and you can say, wow, I can't believe that just that little bit of consistent giving that I did really added up to all of that. And you know, God, through one of His prophets, Malachi, made a promise to all of us. And what He said was, He said, if we're willing to give consistently to Him, He said, I will open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing, you will not have room for it all. Wow. That's better than getting that Christmas club check at the end of the year. God has promised a blessing if you will give gifts to Him all throughout the year. So that's my encouragement to you. Go ahead and start. Just go ahead and say, you know what? Next week or this week, as that new year rolls in, I'm just going to go ahead and write that check out, or however it is that you want to do that, and I'm going to start my giving to God, because Jesus needs our gifts all year long. Well, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May His face shine upon you. May you truly experience the joy and excitement of giving gifts to God this new year. Happy New Year, and thanks for taking the time and watching today.